Hi guys, welcome to Succulent Plant Care. Today I wanted to show you guys one of my most favorite succulent plants, and it's in bloom. It's called the Crassula Perforata, also known as string of buttons plant. And as you can see in its full glory, it's so pretty. It is in bloom, and I have them growing in several pots around, but the pot is too heavy to move, so I'm just showing you this one. As you can see, it's almost outgrowing its pot. I just need to repot these plants. It's planted next to these sedum rubitinctum aurora, also known as pink jelly beans. But see how it's so pretty. It is in bloom, and right next to it is its mother plant, also in bloom, meaning all of my string of buttons, Crassula Perforata, came from this original plant right here, this planter that I planted over 5 years ago. It stayed in this original pot since I planted it over 5 years ago, and it's doing okay. I just don't want to disturb it, so I haven't repotted it. What I've been doing is just taking stem cuttings from this, and this is the result of some of my stem cuttings, which is right here. And I think they're perfectly happy. As you can see, they're blooming, and I just wanted to show you guys how the blooms or the flowers look. And they just make these pretty little, I would say light yellow or white cream colored flowers, as you can see. And they're pretty scentless. They don't give off any smells or scents. Okay, here they are up close. It's just very pretty. It's a very pretty succulent plant, and as you can see, they have like this trailing capabilities. As you see, they kind of spill out of the pot. They tend to do that. So you can plant them in hanging baskets or any tall pot if you want to see them cascade down the pot. It's very pretty. Or you can raise the planter, as I did here, to showcase how they trail or they kind of spill out of the pot, which is really pretty. One more thing about these plants, as you can see from this one, see how the pattern is kind of crisscrossing. The leaves are crisscrossing each other. That's how they grow. And then they develop these reddish or maroonish margins on the tips or the sides of the leaves, and these margins or the reddish tips intensify with more sun, and also as the plant gets more stressed out, meaning they don't get a lot of water and the weather cools down, gets a little colder, or during winter time, they get even more red. The tips or the margins here get very, very red. They even appear maroonish or brownish as they get more and more stress. So these plants are not only easy to grow, they're not only very pretty, but they're also very easy to grow. What I do is I plant them in a well-draining soil. Usually I choose a cactus potting mix and combine it with perlite for more drainage. And I water this plant once every 10 days or once every week in the summertime, and then every 10 to 14 days as the weather cools down. And around winter time, I water less and less, to about maybe once a month or twice a month during winter. And if we get a lot of rain, then I just withhold watering altogether. So these plants can take in a lot of sun. They can even do well under full sun, but you just need to acclimate the plant to full sun before exposing it to a lot of sunlight or intense sun. You have to acclimate the plant, meaning they have to get used to the heat before exposing to full sun. Yes, but once they're acclimated to full sun, then they do well. And then that's when you get the more intense color, more vivid colors that it comes out, the reddish pinkish tips, and then the greenish leaves would turn even like a lighter green. Yeah, so they can take in a lot of sun and not a lot of water, so it's very easy to take care of. So how do I get them to bloom? I don't do much. I don't do anything special. I think when they're happy, then they bloom, and when they're ready to flower, they will flower for you. My plants have been flowering for me every year. I think as soon as they mature, they start flowering. But one thing I do is I make sure they get plenty of sunlight throughout the year, and also enough water, enough but not too much, water. And do I feed this plant? Sometimes I do. I'm not very religious about feeding or fertilizing my succulents, but I do, especially this planter here, which is over 5 years old, like I said, and I haven't repotted this, so it's been in its original potting mix from 5 years ago, even longer. So it does need some fertilizer to replenish the lost nutrients in the soil. So I do fertilize, not religiously, maybe once a month the most during growth season, which is the summer to spring season is when I fertilize, and even up until fall, and I stop fertilizing during winter when their growth kind of slows down. Okay, so but if you just newly potted or repotted your string of buttons, you don't really have to fertilize until a year later. If the potting mix is fresh, you can if you want, but it's not necessary. All right, so that's really it. You don't have to do anything that special to get them to bloom. If they're happy, they will bloom for you. Okay, and one more thing is these plants are also easy to propagate. Like I said, I got these from just stem cuttings from this original plant. And you see how vigorously they've grown. It's like outgrowing this pot. It wasn't like this when I potted it. Okay, and this is another example of a stem cutting that I did. And again, it's from this original plant right here. So they can be easily propagated from stem cuttings as well. I have a video of it actually, which I will link down below, of how you can propagate these plants through stem cuttings. It's pretty easy, as you can see, and I have them growing in different pots around here. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to show you guys how beautiful this plant is, especially when it's in bloom. All right, so there you go, and that's it. Thank you all for watching. Please like or subscribe if you like what you saw, and I'll be posting a few more videos on anything related to succulents. And I also have a blog about succulents. It's succulentplantcare.com, which I will also link down below. All right, thank you guys, and happy gardening. Bye bye. I've created a playlist related to this video. The playlist link is in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It will really help us out with the YouTube algorithm. To see similar videos like this, please subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to be alerted as soon as I upload a new video, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and happy gardening!